We are in the throes of a deadly heroin epidemic, which has changed the way we think both about treatment for the addicted and punishment for drug dealers. What approach have you or would you take as prosecutor to curb this epidemic?
Well, first of all, as a prosecutor, we have to relentlessly pursue drug dealers and drug suppliers. And we have to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we have done that here in Stark County. We have had 2 manslaughter charges that were filed, and the 2 were convicted, and they're spending a long time in prison. And we were one of the first counties in the state of Ohio to actually file a manslaughter charge against a dealer, and he did go to prison for 15 years. Another one was a husband who supplied heroin to his wife who overdosed and died, and he's now spending time in prison. So I think right there we have to relentlessly go after these people. We have to work with law enforcement, not only on the local, state, and federal level to try to get these dealers. They're coming, this is international when this heroin is going. They're coming from Mexico, from China, from all over. So it's important that we work with the feds, which we do on a daily basis. It's important we work with the state, with the Attorney General's office, which we do. It's important with all our police agencies to do our best to try to get this scourge that is affecting not only our county. You can see it's all over the state of Ohio, all over this country. Second of all, you have to look at the treatment part of this, and we have to make sure that the people that get caught with the possession, okay, they're going to get charged. But they're addicts. They need help. We have to do everything we can as a prosecutor to assist the law enforcement and judges to try to get these people some help before they actually kill themselves or kill someone else. And I think that's important that we work with the courts through the CHANCE program. Everybody's heard that, drug court, where they get the opportunity to do certain things, to drive themselves up, stay clean, and to get it off the record. And we'll do everything on that. And the third element, which is very important, I think, as a prosecutor, is to get out there in the community and discuss what we can do, not only as a prosecutor, but just as a society. We have to go into the schools. We have to tell these young kids at a very, very early age what the heck's going on out there. And I'm talking, in middle school, and having my staff go out there from the juvenile division and talking to them and making sure that they understand that this is something you don't want to get into. And I've been to many groups. The Solace Group, which is a group that has a bunch of parents who've lost a child. So I went there and spoke to them, and they're helping us with this situation.
Thank you, Mr. Jakmides.
Well, I encountered heroin for the first time in Sharon, Pennsylvania. I worked construction there. 10 of my friends, part of our crew, 3 died from heroin overdoses. When I was in college, I was a volunteer probation officer. I worked for Judge Thomas for 7 years, involved in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. And Narcotics Anonymous is our best bet in dealing with heroin addiction. People hire me every week because their son has been arrested for an overdose or for heroin possession, or because their child is with a heroin-addicted mother. They take the child, and they don't hire me because I'm a nice, sweet old man. They hire me because they know my reputation with dealing with addicts and trying to help them in a tough way. I've had experience as a probation officer. I was a county prosecutor. That time, cocaine was the rage. When I worked at the public defender's office, we investigated heroin cases for the defense attorneys. So I have a very broad experience both in prosecution of drug cases, defending drug cases. I've defended some of the biggest drug dealers in Stark County history. So I know both sides of this. I've been in federal court many times with different drug defendants. So I know this from both sides, and one gentleman wrote a nice letter to the editor of Reliance Review. He said, "You have referred more people to treatment than all the other lawyers in Stark County combined." Because I know the treatment end of this, but I also know that there's a hard fist that needs to be applied to it too. I will take a caseload. I will do pre-trials on Monday and Wednesday mornings, something my opponent has never done. I will try jury trials in the courtroom of Stark County, something my opponent has never done. I will be in the treatment centers, frankly, with some of my ex-clients and some of their relatives that I may have sent there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know how to do this. I know how to work with the police. I know how to work with the treatment professionals, the probation services, the judges, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys. I know this game. I know it inside and out. And that's just what has happened in my career, that this is just something I've been exposed to for a long time. And I've learned a lot of hard lessons. And you don't start out the conversation with heroin addicts as, oh, poor you. You start out the conversation as, where'd you get your dope? We need to tell the cops. Because I've found that once they reveal that information, they don't go back to that dealer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very well, and frankly, when we had a debate at the bookstore, Mr. Ferrero conceded that I was much better equipped to deal with the heroin situation than him because of my experience. I think he said it kind of sarcastically, but the fact of the matter is, I've been on all sides, and I know how to try a jury trial or do a criminal pretrial, something my opponent has never done.